Welcome to the StockMentor.com studios. I'm your stock mentor, Brian Johnson. And another move up today in the markets, as actually would be expected after what we saw yesterday and where we were left after yesterday. So we were just above the 10,000 mark. And I mentioned that this would obviously be the most logical place to look for next area of overhead resistance. Lo and behold, that's what we hit, and we ran back from there, only to come back through at the very end of the day and push through it. This looks to me like a very clean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside. This is your next major level, as I said yesterday, of overhead resistance. Still is today, 10,200-ish area. I don't know exactly where that's at, but let me see if I can figure it out here. 10,191 to 10,200-ish area. Yes, so 10,200. Looks like that is the place for the next really heavy level of overhead resistance. If you took this trade above here, as we had talked about, 9,900, you did very well on this. Even if you took profits up here at the 200, as I suggested yesterday, fine, that's great. You might be, gnashing your teeth. Oh, man, it went up a little bit more. Who cares? Who cares? You did very well on this trade right here. Made some good money on it. If you wanted to re-enter over the 200, that's fine. You may have done that. You may have got out here, waited for this to do whatever it was going to do, and when it broke through here at the end of the day, went ahead and took another trade. That's fine. If you were holding long overnight, a little bit long in the tooth, but I do believe that this will be the area to hold now coming into tomorrow and the end of the week. So let's see if it can make this level up here. May even make it a little bit higher. Could be 10, 10,250, 10,300. You can see these levels all above us here for overhead resistance. Could be any one of these levels, but I'm saying that the more major one here is at 10,200. Very clean, it appears to me, on the Dow chart, 60-minute. Okay, from a daily, you can also see us coming right back up to and at the 200. That was another reason to maybe take a little bit of profit or all profits. We finished just 3 points above it, 4 points above it. So nothing to really be gleaned from that, except that we did see the continuation from yesterday's move. That's good for the bulls, starting to push this thing right back up into some of these overhead levels. Now, they've just obviously got to chew away at those and see if they can finally break their way through. But a very good trade for those of you that took it from the 9,900 level on up. Watch for any continued moves tomorrow. Once again, 10,200. Then we're looking at 10,250, 10,300, and that'll coincide with all of these areas up here if it gets that high by the end of tomorrow. NASDAQ on a 60-minute also doing the same thing, but not breaking to new highs at the end of the day as we saw in the Dow, and I believe the S&P also did the same thing. So, will this make it? Yeah, it's anyone's guess. This 1800 was my level to be watching. The next level here, if we start to break up tomorrow, no reason to think the NASDAQ won't follow and come right back up here into this 1830, 1835-ish area. Watch that area for the next heavier level of overhead resistance. Putting in a potential topping candle today. I'm not real concerned about it, to be quite honest. It is what it is. We'll have to wait and see if we get any kind of confirmation tomorrow. If you are long the NASDAQ and are holding, I probably would suggest that you might want to rethink that strategy if it gets somewhere below 1770, 1760, somewhere down in that area. But these are the levels we're watching to the upside on the NASDAQ. I think they are very achievable. So if you're long any NASDAQ stocks, especially the strong ones like Apple or Baidu, you're doing just fine at this point. NASDAQ on a weekly, coming back up and also stopping where at? That 1803 area, which is the 50-week moving average. Told you to keep that on your charts. This is the reason why. Now, will it break that tomorrow? Will it hold that tomorrow? Curious. This is a weekly chart, so we will wait to see what we get by the end of tomorrow. SPX on a 60-minute did just barely get up and over this little area we were watching here. I could probably even put a smaller one right up above there too. So we're right at somewhere between that 1068, 1072-ish area. Good overhead resistance. Next level, obviously, at the 1077 level, which the Dow now has actually come back to not only test but break. We'll see if that if the rest of them follow. that pattern as well. 1082-ish being your more major line once we get past the 200 for overhead resistance. Also putting in a little bit different pattern here. You can make that into whatever you want. Maybe this is a 1-2 with a little 1-2-3-4-5 to the upside potentially. We have not broken, so this is all speculative at this point. I really think it's a lot more clear on the Dow chart than it is some of the other ones. Here we're looking at reaching this 20-day moving average. I don't see why we don't. So for those of you that took that break back above 1050, I think you may be able to squeeze another 5-6 points out of there, and then at that point you might want to reconsider what you're going to do with your position moving forward. Hold it, hold part of it, hold some of it, hold it over the weekend, get rid of it, whatever you want to do, trade your plan. SPX on a weekly coming back up and may end up retesting that 50-week moving average. We broke that, have not retested that yet. I'm not sure we'll get that high, but if this continues to the upside and breaks some of those levels we talked about earlier in the video, this is the next more major level for the weekly, back up there near the 1090-ish area. Here you can see the VIX starting to consolidate, however, confirming what we saw today. Move up in the markets, move down in the VIX. That's what you're looking for. Holding this 200, but from a technical side, it is what it is, but it is holding the 204 right now. Any breaks below that, I think, take us right back into here. Point being that it did confirm the move today, so the bulls are still in pretty good shape. Overall, all we're seeing is consolidation. We saw huge moves up in the VIX, consolidate, a couple of moves down here, and now more consolidation by the end of this. So you can see that while the VIX is moving down, the markets have been moving up, and as long as that stays consistent, we can confirm what we're seeing in the markets. Apple on a 60-minute also got above this blue line at the end of yesterday. Gap up today only to come all the way back down again. Yeah, I mean, not a big concern for me by any means. If we start down here, 1, 2, that could have been the top of 3. Now we're into a 4 wave here with a 5 yet to come, and that could be right here to 267.50. Would be a very logical place to see Apple return to if it can get back up and over that 262.50-ish area. Apple on a daily, you can see it, yes, putting in a bearish candle today. That is a potential reversal candle as well. Yes, you must pay attention to that, but only if we get confirmation tomorrow. Keep watching these levels here, and of course the levels right above us that we just spoke about. From a weekly standpoint, bouncing off the 20, looking to maybe come back and retest this blue line. We've talked about that. That does or does not have to happen, but that is an overhead target for me if we continue this move up by the bulls. Not a lot of participation this week, but let me remind you, it is a 4-day week. So when you look at the volume for your days or for your weeks, don't forget we missed a day. Monday we did not trade. FAS on a 60-minute also breaking up and over the blue line. Gap up, run back, very Apple-ish, if you will, on the chart. Coming back into good lower support here, exactly what you would expect to find. Making for some pretty decent day trades if you really know what you're doing. Otherwise, it's just chop. Good day to maybe find something else to trade or to walk the dog. FAS on a daily also coming up to put in this kind of it can be a potential reversal candle, still really early or way too early to tell. Your trade is above the 20-day. The thing can sneak its way back above the 20-day, 21, above 2180 or even 22 for the more conservative. You could see this thing maybe try to make its way back to 23 or even 24 plus before it's all over with. FAZ, that means a gap down, a move up, only to return to the downside again. Target down here is still, and I did mention this yesterday, the 1525 area for some area of support. That's what we saw this morning on the gap down. We held the 1525, bounced up only to return to the downside here. Next area below that is 1465-ish, as you can see from this level here on your FAS FAZ. Overall, though, guys, really just kind of went sideways. If you take where we opened and take where we closed, it was really just kind of nowhere. So have to really know what you're doing from a day trader standpoint to make any money with that. FAS on a daily, holding that blue line. Isn't that interesting? So now it's kind of trapped. It's got the 50 below it, it's got this blue line below it, but it's got the 20 and the $16 mark above it. anybody's guess where this thing goes. You just want to watch and wait for the more major breaks to happen before you take those trades. Keep your emotions out of it. Let the charts tell you what to do. If you do not know how to annotate these charts, you need to get with me. Talk to me about the mentoring course. It's everything you'll need to know to be a consistently profitable trader. I'm also looking at setting up a webinar that you all can attend if you have any questions about the mentoring course itself, or just to kind of say hi if you'd like. I'll let you know when that is, but as of right now, looks like that might happen on Monday, so stay tuned. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. Keep in mind these overhead areas. If you have been following along, you have been doing well in your trading, making money, please tell your friends about it. Give them an opportunity to learn something too about the wonderful world of trading. And we will see you again tomorrow. Bye.